Well, I got to add a new tool to my collection. Unfortunately, I had to use it. Let's talk about plumbing stoppages. So this is a RIDGID Kwik-Spin drain cleaner, and it's a simple spring that comes out of this thing when you crank it. It's on a little roller bearing there. It's a little more expensive than the rest of them. This one's about 30 bucks, I think. But it's fully manual. There's no place to put a drill. And I use this for cleaning out a drain. Now, as many of you are aware, we just moved into a house about 6 months ago. And I want to show you some of the things I learned on this. What you see in old plumbing sometimes is not reality. Let me show you what I mean. So in this old house we have a mixture of cast iron and PVC. And we had a bathroom sink upstairs stop draining. And so my first thought was, it's this connection down here. The reason is this pipe runs over here to the wall, and that comes down from the toilet in the same bathroom and drops down into the septic on this stack. And it comes down from the bathroom upstairs right here, or so I thought. Now this pipe had a negative flow. It wasn't hung properly, and so this pipe was running downhill into this clean out. And so when it first happened, I thought, well, there's your problem. You know, we get down here and we'll fix this, get this straightened out, get it running the right way over toward the stack. And you do that by just adjusting the height of the pipe. You want it higher on this end so water runs downhill. And I thought that would fix it right up. Well, when I took it apart, it was stopped up. It was full of water up to about here, nearly to the top. And I saw it on this clean out that was back here, so I could tell where the water was. Well, the thing of it is, I replaced all this, and it didn't fix it. So it was kind of a quandary. It's just a bathroom sink, right? Which should work. I mean, it should make perfect sense. But it didn't. It didn't clear the drain, and the sink was still backed up. So I goes upstairs. Let me show you what I found upstairs. So unstopping a bathroom sink is easy. Done it dozens of times. But this one threw me for a loop. So I go upstairs and so let's say here's a sink basin. Drains out this pipe right here, goes into a T, and over into the wall. Well, you think, okay, so we'll clean out the trap right here. And so I took this trap off, and there was a little bit of stuff in it, but it wasn't enough. Now, there's a lot to plumbing. The way this should work, the water runs into the trap and stays right there until you add more water, and it pushes what's in the trap out and into the wall. So this was all clear. I don't know, or I didn't know at the time what was going on because, you know, like I said, I've done this several times. So I got to digging around. New old house. So in this wall, comes down here, there's a floor, there's a floor joist, and here's our pipe that runs to the stack. There's a clean out. And it runs down into the stack. Now the problem was, I can't draw. But the problem was, when I took this off to replace it, I could look up this pipe, and this is actually a vent stack, and it goes up into vents out the roof. So I knew that this part wasn't stopped up because I could see daylight from here, from this elbow. Now I'd already replaced all this, so like I say, it's not rocket science. But I could not figure out why this was clear and this was clear, but water would not drain from the sink. So I thought, aha, the overflow is stopped up and it's not getting the air. Because when you drain, it sucks air from the overflow in here, which increases the pressure, increases the rate at which this can come out. And it ran right over here to this stack. I was mystified. Had to go to work, left it, came back the next day. Now I spent about 2 hours on this, redoing all this. I just couldn't get it in my mind what was going on. So I was back the next day pondering this thing, and I said, well, the water's not actually going into this stack. It's going somewhere else. There's no other plumbing connections from that bathroom here. There's only the two. So I sat and thought about this and thought about this and thought about this, and I said, oh, perhaps this pipe doesn't go straight in to this opening. And I was right. Let me draw you another angle. There's your vent stack, and there's your sink, and this is looking straight on it. This pipe, the hole that this pipe goes into, actually was offset. There was an L right here, and with the tape it seemed like it was about 6 inches long, and this thing turned down and goes down to this pipe and cut back into it. So this was not attached. This just goes in, this sink just drains in right here. It goes down here, down, and over. So what I was missing was the sink wasn't attached to this pipe. It was attached over here. You follow me? It makes one of us. I'll try to get some close-ups on my crappy drawing here. So, welcome to new old houses, right? For whatever reason, perhaps they moved a sink in the bathroom years past, I don't know, but for whatever reason, the sink goes in right here. We'll draw you another picture. Turns and goes down. Now, I tried to snake this out, but the only snakes I have are two 3/4 inch snakes, one of them with a big head, would not make the turn. So I had another one with the head broken off, and it's 3/4 inch, and it would not make the turn. So that's why I went and bought this, which is small enough spring and a head on it to make this turn. It's crazy. I put it in there and I just start wiggling around, because now this is full of gunk. Oh, this is full of gunk. Let me get that off here. This one is full of gunk, so I can't make the turn to follow that pipe. Don't even know which direction it is because it's so full. So I got this thing and put it in there and just started turning and letting it feed, shaking it, wiggling it around, letting it feed, letting it feed, letting it feed. It finally goes in here, turns down, and I felt that blockage. Now this is the third day I spent on it. Not full days. I'm working an hour here, 2 hours here, kind of deal. So I finally got the snake down in there. It goes down the pipe. I feel the plug. So I just crank like crazy, and I'm pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling and cranking like crazy. I finally get about 6 feet of this out, and at this point it's over here in this pipe that I showed you earlier in the clean out. So the blockage was here. For all intents and purposes, it looked like that the sink went directly into this stack. It didn't. Goes in here, turns, comes down, comes back. Old work. I learned something there. Old plumbing. The stack was cast. The drain that goes into this part was sealed with putty. This seal here from the sink that goes into the from the trap. Let me do justice on this. Here's the vent. Here's the pipe that the sink was draining into. This pipe goes this way and down and then back into this vent. I don't know if it's a 45 or a sweep. I don't know what that is. Never saw it. It's in the wall. Back into here where the water runs out. So this thing had been here for ages. Who knows how long. It was full of gunk. I got it out with this. Now, real quickly, let me show you how this works. Maybe it'll focus this close. Get over here. This is a spring. And when you turn this, it turns in the direction where the spring will spin around and catch whatever hair, it's usually hair in a bathroom, whatever hair plug or muck that's in there. And it'll wind it up on here, and you can push and pull while you're turning, feeding this. And as you do, it'll pick up what it can. You pull it out, clean it off, and go back to it. And that's how this thing works. These things are about 25 bucks. And it saved me. Yeah. 3-day plumbing project. Man. So that's my terrible tale of the plumbing situation here on that sink. Everything else seems to be fine. We haven't had any trouble at all. But I'm going to follow up. I got a septic system, so I have to be careful what I put in it. I'm going to follow up with some liquid plumber type. I'm going to find something. I don't know that liquid plumber is safe on septic, but I'm going to find something that will work and try to keep this thing cleaned out as we go. What a learning experience. If you got any questions, man, drop them down below. This was a learning experience for me, and I suspected that something was up when I took this off down here and could see daylight out this stack, or out this vent pipe. I knew it had to go somewhere other than where I thought it was going, which was right here. So, long story short, you got to keep your eyes and ears open, because sometimes things aren't what they appear. All right, leave me some comments, ask some questions, whatever you need to do down below. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope this helps you. 25, 30 bucks. This is the RIDGID. You can get them at Harbor Freight for 13. So see if you can't get those slow sinks running. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. God bless. Oh crap, I erased my list.